Now, as we track COVID-19 right across the country, Manitoba is now one of the hardest hit provinces with a 5-day test positivity rate of 12% and 13.5% in Winnipeg. Canadian Armed Forces have now landed to help battle an intense third wave. So with the latest from the province, we welcome CityNews Winnipeg reporter Alex Karpa. Good morning to you, Alex.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing all right. So let's break this down. When we hear about the positivity rates, it is alarming, and there is a lot that needs to be done. Can you speak a little bit about the federal support and what's happening with the armed forces?
For sure. Well, the federal government had provided 47 personnel from the military here in Manitoba, so they're non-medical and medical personnel. So if I'm just going to look, they're helping in 3 different categories here. I'm just going to look at my notes because I do not want to mess this up. I want to be accurate here. So they're going to be helping with processing COVID tests. They're going to be assisting efforts at shared healths, alternative isolation accommodations, and they will help with flying COVID patients out of province to different ICUs. So we've seen those numbers in Manitoba. Currently, as of Tuesday, 37 patients have gone out of Manitoba to Ontario and Saskatchewan. So 36 ICU patients to Ontario and 1 to Saskatchewan. So the situation here in Manitoba, it's pretty dire. Manitoba not doing so well right now. So Manitoba had the highest test positivity rate across North America. So you can identify what the situation is like here. If I can, go over some numbers here with you. Shared Health in Manitoba provided some numbers here. 253 COVID patients in ICU patients in Manitoba over the month of May. So that's a 400% increase from what April was. So let's just break down some numbers here. There's about 125 to 126 ICU patients in Manitoba hospitals on a daily basis here. So within that, there's 72 COVID patients. Pre-COVID, the Manitoba ICU capacity was at 72. So you could just imagine what the situation like that for nurses and healthcare officials. It's a pretty dire situation here. And of course, as you mentioned, the federal government has provided military support here in Manitoba.
Alex, talk to me a little bit about what it's like as a resident in Manitoba and the frustration levels with the number of restrictions that are now in place.
Well, for sure. You speak on the restrictions here. I'll just kind of go over the restrictions for those who don't know. Currently, there is no outdoor or indoor gathering for anyone outside your household. Retail sits at 10%. Restaurants can't have dining or in person. No, there's none of that right now. There's nothing really kind of going on. So, small businesses are struggling. People are scared here in Manitoba. I mean, all you have to do is look at the hospital numbers. The healthcare and nurses and all the people working in the healthcare system. I know a couple of people that work in the hospitals, and they never even thought of this situation of being real. I mean, it's an unprecedented situation, something that we've never really gone through. I mean, if you look at Manitoba's case count, I mean, they are kind of going down right now. Yesterday on Tuesday, we reported 232 cases. So that's kind of the lowest we've had in the past couple of weeks. But you have to remember that, just a couple of weeks ago, Manitoba's test positivity rate 7-day average was between 450 and 480 a day. I mean, that is absolutely insane. We haven't even seen, we saw numbers over 600. Like, we haven't seen that in a situation this entire pandemic. So, it's a scary situation. People are kind of, they're hesitant, and they want to get back to normal. People are COVID fatigued. They want to get back with their friends. It's finally nice outside. The sun's out. People want to hang out, but we can't do that right now because the ICU numbers are through the roof. The healthcare system is at a stress level like they've never seen before.
Yeah, indeed. And Ontario has seen and still continues to see some of these rates, too. Very quickly for you, Alex, before I let you go, Jets-Habs tonight, which will be really interesting to see some healthcare workers inside watching the game.
Well, for sure. That's, something that we've seen across the country. We saw in Montreal that there was 2,500 people. We saw in Toronto the other day that there was 500 nurses and healthcare workers. It's great to see that, the province is giving back to those who are working their absolute hardest and all their best, during this COVID-19 pandemic. It's something that they, it's a night off for them. And hopefully the Jets can take on the Habs tonight and beat them here in Winnipeg.
All right. That's Alex Karpa reporting for us in Winnipeg. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Right now, some of our Montreal viewers might be saying, what? I don't know. Frankie, you'll be watching. Good morning.
My Toronto viewers are saying, go Jets, go.
Go
Jets, go.